It's time for Community Matters, a service of TCB Broadcasting, and it's sponsored by Vidalia Federal in Lyons and Vidalia, Todd Paget Housing Center in Claxton. Now let's see what's happening in our community with host Tony Doc Wardlaw.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to this edition of Community Matters. I'm your host, the Doc, and we are here on another beautiful Wednesday morning. And I'm so glad that you are riding along with us this morning. Well, you know, in your community, if you're going to have a community, there are a few things that you have to have. We're blessed, as we had on last week, the chief of our police department, Chief Wesley Walker, was here. And you got to have your government, you got to have some authorities, and guess what else? You got to have a hospital. You got to have somewhere to go and get checked out when you're sick and have medical needs. And we're blessed to have the one and the only, the CEO of our hospital, the Memorial Health, the Meadows Hospital in Vidalia, Georgia, none other than the man himself, the debonair, Mr. Matt Hasbro.
Well, thank you, Doc. That was very kind.
Well, we do what we can at the Community Matters. Well, it's good to have you in the studio with us again. It's been some time.
Yeah, it's my
probably
pleasure.
A little over a year, and
I didn't think you were going to invite me back.
Well, I had to think about it. But we're glad to have you in the studio with us, man. And well, have you settled in, or is Toombs County? Are you able to make it home?
Oh yeah. So I am enjoying my 5-minute commute home.
Wow.
My daughters are doing well in school, and my wife seems to be getting more and more involved in the community, which is great. So we have just absolutely enjoyed our time here and putting down some roots, and just couldn't be more grateful to the people here, and certainly yourself and others that have just been so warm and welcoming. It says a lot about the community and the people that make it.
Excellent. Well, you've been here now for, how many years?
Just over 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And your daughters, for all of you who are listening, the CEO of our hospital has 2 lovely daughters. And how old are they now?
So Addison is 8 years old.
Okay.
Brinley is 6 years old.
All right. And they are
going on 20.
That's right. Yeah, they grew up real fast, man. Well, good. And so you've been here at the hospital, and things are moving in the right direction. And a few weeks ago, in fact, a couple weeks ago, September 26th, Tuesday, there was a big milestone with the hospital. There was a great celebration. 60 years.
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a really, really awesome event. I was so pleased and just so grateful with the community and their turnout and their support. It's been 60 plus years of people coming together with a vision to ensure that they had strong health care here locally in the community.
Yeah.
And so it's an opportunity to pay tribute to the legacy and the tradition of many who not only came up with the vision but have been supporting it for the last 60 years. And I think we're just stronger than ever at this point to carry it forward for another 40 so we can hit our 100-year anniversary.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. I was thinking about that when you were when I got the flyer for the 60-year celebration, and I was like, wow, 60 years? It seems like it's been longer than that.
Well, it's interesting that you say that. Meadows, John M. Meadows Memorial Hospital was formed and opened on September 16th, 1963.
Okay.
That said, before that, there were still many doctors in this community and in this region, and they all not only provided outpatient services, but many of them had a hospital of their own that they were to admit and observe patients. So we've had healthcare in this community certainly longer than 60 years, but the centralized hospital in our community that we see today, which has moved in the past, has been here for 60 years now.
Wow. I was in a discussion with our general manager, Miss Robin Crabb, and we were kind of going back and forth as to the doctors in our area, and she was saying Dr. New, and I was saying Dr. Neely, and that's kind of where I'm going to leave that.
Well,
Robin's got a birthday today, by the way. Happy birthday. So she's a few years older than me, and
happy birthday,
I better
Robin.
stop before I get in any more
There
trouble.
you go. Well, let me take it from there, Doc. So Dr. Neely, who we all just think the world of, Dr. Ben Neely, he's been on our medical staff since 1968.
Wow.
He is the longest running physician on our medical staff to date, and we celebrated him at our 60th anniversary for 55 years.
Wow. Excellent.
Of just continued tremendous service and care to this community.
Sure.
And he is just a gentleman.
Yeah.
And we just appreciate him so much.
Good. So we've got Dr. Neely, and in fact, we've got a full staff of doctors. I hate to put you on the spot there, Mr. CEO, but do you know about how many doctors total that we have on staff at the hospital?
Yeah, it's a good question. So if you look at it, we have over 300 doctors on our medical staff. Now, if you break that down, we have various categories between active and affiliate and ambulatory, and they all have different levels of privileges. But if you look at the folks that are in our hospital day in, day out, we have roughly 60 folks that are coming and going from our hospital, and we've added roughly 55 over the last 2 years in various capacities, many of them that are here in our community. We just Dr. Michael Kennedy actually is a general surgeon who just joined the team here, working with our general surgery team, and is living in the community. We're very, very excited to have him here. He's a robotically trained surgeon, so super excited to have him here to be able to take more care of our patients.
Wow. So he will be joining, because we've had, I think, is it Federal?
Yeah, Dr. Furlan
And
Dr.
Dr. Evans.
Yes, and they were the pioneers of the robotics program when we started that back in 2022.
Yeah.
And Dr. Evans serves as our robotic chairman and champion. And Dr. Furlan is currently chief of our surgery department.
Oh, wow.
So Dr. Kennedy will be joining them along with Dr. Hoffman.
Oh, man.
So we have a really tremendous group of general surgeons, and certainly a tremendous group of OBGYNs who actually are robotically assisted and work on the robot.
So it sounds like, if I'm hearing you correctly, we basically are continuing to really grow. Is that as a result of the number of people in our area, or what's causing the growth?
I think as we continue to bring on the right people, and I think that's where it always starts, is the people. We have a tremendous team there. Our Meadows family continues to grow, and I truly believe that good people beget good people.
Right.
And so we're adding people, and because of that, our services, our level of quality continues to increase. We are, if you look at surveys for patients, we're up in the top decile when it comes to patient experience.
Yes.
We continue to push the envelope when it comes to our quality agenda to ensure that we're providing safe, highly effective treatment.
Yeah.
And with that, more people are finding out, not just in Toombs County, but in the surrounding counties as well. And so we are truly serving not just our community, but surrounding communities. And I think that's just tremendous, given where we are in Georgia, in our proximity to larger cities, that we don't need to be so dependent on them.
That's excellent.
And that we can treat people here, close to home, and not only receive tremendous treatment, but be able to do it in the confines of something that they're comfortable with. Ensure that their families can come visit. Ensure that they don't have to go an hour and a half down the road. So I'm just really, really proud of that.
Excellent.
And so that's why you can continue to see this growth, is more people are learning about us, what we have available, trusting in us with their care and with their lives, and so continue to come back so we can treat them. And it's just an absolute privilege to be able to do that.
Wow. You know, when I was younger, excuse me, I used to, we would, rarely, but we would go to the emergency room at times when we'd have issues. And I remember sitting there in the waiting room, sometimes for hours, waiting to be seen. I say that to say this, one of the things that I like as I'm riding down 280 is I look up and there's a marquee that lets me know about what the waiting time is in the waiting room. And sometimes it's only like 2 or 3 minutes. I'm like, wow, I couldn't imagine being able to be seen that quickly.
That's right. And you know, as you think about care, we want to certainly make sure that folks are getting care with their primary care physicians, and ensuring they're doing it in a way so they're not having to come in an emergent situation. But if it is, we want to be there for them.
Excellent.
And it's a scary situation, and it's a vulnerable situation. And so when you walk through those doors, we want to be able to see as fast as possible. And that's a provider saying hello, laying eyes on the patient, and being able to triage. And so we track that, and that's what's showing on that marquee. Is that's an average over 4 hours as to how quickly we're able to see patients. Our processes are we want to pull patients back into the exam rooms as fast as possible. That allows us to make sure we have eyes on, got equipment set up to better treat them in a timely and quality manner.
Excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to the CEO of our hospital, Mr. Matt Hasbrook, and we're just talking in general about our hospital and the various updates and upgrades and advances. 60 years our hospital has been here, and we're just so grateful for all that you're doing, Matt. We want to take a break, and when we come back, we want to talk about maybe some things that we can expect in the future. Maybe some new medical options or ideas. We want to get inside of Mr. Matt Hasbrook. Get inside of your head and see where we're headed.
I don't know what you find, but it'll be interesting.
All right, so we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back right after these messages.
We don't need a calendar to tell us that summer is here. Just go outside and you'll know it's getting hot, hot, hot. This is Anthony J. with Todd Paget Housing Center, and we're inviting you to beat the heat in one of our beautiful homes from Southern Energy Homes, Cavalier, Clayton, Deer Valley, Live Oak, or Scott Built. We build all of our homes a lot more energy efficient than they would have normally come. So stop by Todd Paget Housing Center in Claxton, Georgia, and pick out your energy savings dream home from our massive selection. Todd Paget Housing Center, all of your housing solutions under one roof.
Smarter, not harder. Here at Vidalia Federal, we are all about that phrase as we strive to make your life easier. No more drowning in paperwork or being interrogated over the idea of buying a house. Getting a home loan should be an enjoyable, simple process, not a daunting task. This is Julia McKenzie with Vidalia Federal Savings Bank, and I am here to make the mortgage process easy and simple. Come see me at the Vidalia branch on Jackson Street to talk about your next home purchase or refinance.
Welcome back to this edition of Community Matters. I'm your host, The Doc, and we are here on another beautiful Wednesday morning. Ladies and gentlemen, we have been talking with the CEO of our hospital, Mr. Matt Hasbrook. Good to have you back in the studio.
Thank you, Doc.
And as I told our listeners that we want to kind of get inside your head a little bit, kind of see what's rattling around. And
That's right.
Maybe you can give us some inside scoop, any new medical advances, any new treatments that we're trying to explore here in the area?
A lot of things going on, and it's hard to know where to start, but let's start with our people.
Okay.
We're continuing to grow as more people choose Meadows for their care. We need to make sure that we're continuing to bring in the best and the brightest, and so we have a number of job openings at the facility for all kinds of talented people and professions. So that's number one. I think is we talk about where we're going, we need to make sure that we're continuing to provide opportunities for our people in this community and our workforce. As we do that, we're highly committed to continuing to up our game in the service area.
Okay.
We want to provide the absolute best customer service, patient service, and then continue to increase just overall on our quality. I think that's number one.
Yeah.
As we do that, we want to make sure then we're expanding our horizons to what do we hand out there? What do people need?
Yeah.
It's difficult to be all things to all people, but we want to make sure that we're continuing to expand on subspecialty.
Okay.
So we know we need to have ENT in this community, ear, nose, and throat. And so we're trying to attract an ENT physician to come join us here in this community. That's number one.
Good.
I think we have other positions in other service lines that were very strong, but we've grown, and so we need to add additional physicians. One of those is OBGYN.
Okay.
So we can continue to provide tremendous women's services.
Excellent.
And then cardiology. Cardiology is a service that continues to grow across the country, and that's no different here in Toombs County and the surrounding areas. We have become really a ground zero for cardiology.
Yeah.
We have tremendous resources here in cardiology, and we want to continue to add, but not just right here in Vidalia, in Lyons area, but in the surrounding community, so we can go to them. And so we're actively recruiting for a cardiologist there. And so as you think about that, we want to continue to build our relationship with Memorial Health University Medical Center.
Excellent.
And so as we think about subspecialists, be it electrophysiology on the cardiology side, if it's urology GYN on the women's side, and then certainly we want to make sure that we are adding to our cancer services. And we've brought in 3 additional medical oncologists into this community. We have Dr. Klein, who is a tremendous radiation oncologist, and we're continuing to bring in more surgical type oncologists to be here on a rotating basis.
That's excellent.
So we're super excited about that and where we're going. But again, to my earlier comment, as we continue to bring in good people, more people are learning about us and want to be part of it.
That's excellent. Well, our community is growing. There are more industries that are coming into the area, which means more people. Any plans for groundbreaking? Any new facilities on the horizon? Anything like that that you can share with us?
Yeah, well, a couple things. One, I don't want to get too far out there until we have the dollars to go and get going. But I in the next 3 to 5 years, these are the things that I foresee.
Okay.
One is we're going to continue to grow in cardiology.
Okay.
And so we need to make sure we have the interventional cath lab space to be able to treat more.
Okay.
And so we'll be adding interventional cath lab to our existing hospital. That would be a multi-million-dollar investment on behalf of the community to do that.
Yeah.
I am very, very interested in looking at potential bed expansion.
Okay.
And so we're going through the process with architects and engineers to think through that, to really put together a potential proposal for that. But as more people choose Meadows, we then have really the justification to move forward on some of these things. And so I want to be able to sell it and be able to build and use our local partners to help with that and bring just more economic investment here into this community. So those are the 2 things. There's a number of other things that we're working on right now. We're refurbishing a clinic space. We're purchasing if it's new monitors or various equipment that we have at the hospital, just to continue to refresh things. That's always important within a highly capital-intense environment such as a hospital. It's just continue to refresh to make sure we have the latest and greatest equipment for tracking and monitoring and providing care.
That's excellent. Well, you talked about our capacity. What is our current capacity now for bedding?
So right now we're licensed for 57 beds.
Okay.
And so that's broken down from an adult, inpatient, more medicine and surgical perspective. So we have what I would call 8 intensive care beds. We have 12 what would be more progressive step-down beds. So, and then we have 32 medical surgical beds.
Wow.
The remaining are within our women's services.
Okay.
So we have a number of beds dedicated just to women's services, so obstetrics, gynecology. So between that, we fare okay. But there is certainly times where our bump against that capacity, and so again, I see the future where we need to be able to expand. And fortunately for us, our leaders before us have done a really nice job master planning that facility. I can't tell you. I've worked in a lot of different hospitals. That is the most beautiful hospital I have ever been a part of. And just big thanks to the community and the leaders of our community, certainly previous administrations, to have the foresight, to have the vision to do what they've done.
Excellent, excellent. So you're proud of your team, your staff. You've got good people working around you.
The best.
Any missing pieces?
Right now, I'm just absolutely privileged with the team that we have in place, and I love them to death. I get to come and talk, but at the end of the day, it's all about them.
Yeah.
They're the ones who are making it happen day in, day out. Our providers, certainly our frontline staff, our leaders, who just exemplify ownership and compassion and excellence. I see it every day, and the sacrifices they make to their families, in their personal lives, just to care for others. Never seen it.
I'll give a special shout out because it's my friend Miss Rachel Crumpler, right?
That's right.
I got to give a shout out to Miss Rachel. She's always helpful when I call and able to track you down when nobody else can. So,
well, Rachel's gonna kill me for talking about her on air, but she's my boss,
right? That's right.
And she is just the most kind, gentle-hearted, yet stern and effective people I know.
Yeah.
And that hospital wouldn't be the same without her, and neither would I. And so I thank her for what she does every day.
Good stuff. Well, thank you for being a part of our community, and I'm happy to know that you are coming over to the Bulldog side.
Yeah, I got to jump on the bandwagon. I mean,
you got to, man.
Come on. I've been
2 national championships.
I've been in the Georgia area now for a good bit, and 2 national championships. My Golden Gophers up in Minnesota can't seem to figure out where the end zone is. So I was talking with Dr. Stanley Morgan, who's a huge Bulldog fan and has grown up here in the Toombs area, and he said, "Matt, there's only one other team that's three-peated." And I said, "Yeah, I know, but we're talking about teams after World War II." So the Golden Gophers three-peated, but that was back in 40, 41, and 42.
That's right.
So I'm a big Bulldog fan now, and I just appreciate the opportunity to be part of such a fun story.
Excellent, excellent. Well, again, it is our GM's birthday today, and she won't like all this Bulldog talk because she's a Florida Gator, but happy birthday to her, and go Dogs.
Happy birthday, Robin.
And just thank you, Matt. We really do appreciate it, and everything that you shared with us, we're appreciative. I wonder, when people come to the hospital, do you ever walk around? Is it possible for somebody to maybe catch a glimpse of Mr. Matt Hasbrook as he walks through the hospital?
Well, I hope the answer to that is yes, and I leave that up to the people of this community, and certainly my Meadows family. I pride myself on making sure that I'm out and about. One, because I think my philosophy on leadership is to be visible and be vulnerable and be available.
Excellent.
And obviously things come up day in, day out that pull me away, but we've made sure we've created some sacred time on the calendar every day to go and be with our people.
That's good.
And being a non-clinical person, I love to strap on the shoes and put the scrubs on and go learn. And so we do that on a regular basis, and it's just fascinating what our people do day in, day out, and how they work together to care for the patients.
Good stuff.
And the family members.
Wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking with the CEO of our hospital, Mr. Matt Hasbrook. If you care to know what's going on at Meadows Meadows Hospital, you have a website?
Sure do.
So go to the website. Do you know it?
Yes, it's Memorial Health Meadows Hospital.
Okay. Go there to the website. You can also go to our website. Thank you, Ms. Dorothy Davis, for making sure that our website is up and running. And this show is actually archived, so you can actually get to see what the Mr. Clark Kent look-alike. You can get to see him live and in person. Go to tcbbroadcasting.com. That's tcbbroadcasting.com. And also, again, special shout out to our general manager, and happy birthday to you, Ms. Robin Craft. She is 61, the golden 61. So she's got me by a few years. So I guess she would be a new baby and not a Neely baby. So we thank you so much for listening in on this edition of Community Matters. I'm your host, the Doc. Come back again on next week, and we promise to have another great show for you. God bless you. Until then, take care, everybody.
You've been listening to Community Matters with host Tony Doc Wardlaw, sponsored by Todd Paget Housing Center in Claxton and by Vidalia Federal in Lyons and Vidalia. Tune in again next week to see what is happening in our community on Community Matters, a service of TCB Broadcasting.